friends, welcome back to my channel. So to continue all of the 2020 wrap up series that I'm doing, we are going to talk about the worst books I read in 2020. Before I start, I want to say this disclaimer that we are allowed to like different things. So if I say that one of your most favorite books is one of my least favorites of the year, please don't be offended. I don't mean anything by it. I just did not love these books, but we can still be friends. I had a hard time eliminating books. So I have 17 books on my worst books of 2020. Let's start with number 17, which everyone loves but me. I absolutely hated this book and I liked the movie more. So number 17 is The Sun Is Also a Star by Nicola Yoon, and I know everyone is probably like at me, and I'm sorry, but I just did not enjoy the movie, or the book. I mean, the movie was okay, but I did not enjoy the book. It's about insta-love. Okay, fine, it's not about insta-love, but it has insta-love in it. And I think that's why I hated it. But it's about these two teenagers who are like complete opposites in a lot of ways. She is very scientific and very smart, and he's more fun. Kind of let loose a little more. And she's more like a stick in the mud. But she has 24 hours before she is going to have to leave America and go back to Jamaica, where her family's from. And instead of fighting to stay in America, she falls in love. I just didn't love it. Okay, then these two I put on here, each is one, but since my list is so big, I'm just going to list them together because they're by the same authors, and I had the same problem with both of them. So, I read Nick and Nora's Infinite Playlist and Naomi and Ellie's No Kiss List by David Levithan and Rachel Kahn. So, I have realized that I like David Levithan's writing, but when he writes stuff with Rachel Kahn, I just don't love it as much. I think her writing brings his down a little. But I was very bored with these contemporary romances. Number 14 was Before I Go to Sleep by S.J. Watson. I hated this book because you follow this woman who has amnesia. She cannot remember the last 20 years of her life, the last 14 years of her life or something. And she wakes up every day without any memories. Her husband has wrote on like a chalkboard type thing, this is what you need to do. Your name is this. My name is this. And we've been married for blah, blah, blah. Here's the date. Here's your appointments for the day. Until she kind of starts writing in a journal to help her remember, because she's also seen this therapist, but her husband doesn't know that she's talking to a therapist. And then you kind of get inside her head, like, does she trust her husband or does she trust her therapist or neither of them? And what's going on? And it sounds very, very good, but in reality it was very slow and very dull in writing. And I just didn't like it. And then by the time the reveal had come, I felt very lackluster for it. Okay, now let's go to number 13. And then there were 4 by Nancy Werlin. So this was a YA thriller that kind of takes the same storyline as And Then There Were None by Agatha Christie, which I still have yet to read. But somehow these 5 teenagers, were in the same place at the same time, and they're all kind of like from different cliques, you know, like the Breakfast Club trope. And then somehow the building collapses while they're inside, and they think that they were supposed to be killed, and somehow they know that all their parents are trying to kill them. And there's like no proof or no evidence of it. They just know. Because they just have a feeling. They just know. And it made no sense. And unless I missed something in that book, which I'm pretty sure I didn't. But oh my gosh. I hated it. Okay, then number 12. Everyone is gonna hate me for this, so bring on the roast in the comments below. Geekerilla by Ashley Poston. I just didn't understand the fandom. It was like Cinderella meets fandom, maybe like fangirl. I don't even know. It just was not rememberable for me. Rememberable? It was not memorable to me, okay? I was just bored. Number 11 is Crazy Rich Asians, which is sad because I was so excited for this book. I'd been looking for it for months, and then I finally found it at the thrift store, and I got it, and it was just nothingness. There was like no plot. Number 10 was actually a book that Michael, Amanda, and I buddy read. We wanted some scary books for Summerween because it was Halloween at the end of summer. So we picked Asylum by Madeline Rocks. And it was so boring. The scariest part of this book were the pictures, which I kind of enjoyed. I enjoyed the pictures. So I think I gave it 1 star for the pictures. But it was so boring. Like, for a scary book, nothing happened. It did not scare me. And I wanted something scary. Okay, I'm just gonna fly through the rest of these because, like, I hate being negative and I feel like I'm just trashing on some potentially good books, or like potentially good books to someone. They're just not good to me. Okay, so number 9 is Cinder by Marissa Meyer. I was kind of on a retelling kick this year, and I wasn't impressed with any of them. That's not true. I was impressed with one of them. That's it. So Cinder is a retelling of Cinderella. Big shocker. But Cinder is like a robot or an android, and I just didn't care. Okay, number 8 is The Knife of Never Letting Go by Patrick Ness. I also read The Monster... When a Monster Calls by Patrick Ness. I loved that one. That almost made it to my favorites. But The Knife of Never Letting Go, I probably should have known by the fact that it was a sci-fi series. I'm not a sci-fi person. I should have known by that fact that I wouldn't like it. But, of course, I tried it, and I hated it. Okay, number 7 was an ARC I got this year. It was One to Watch by Kate Stayman London. So, this book was pitched as plus size The Bachelor, or The Bachelorette. And, it sounded decent. I'm not really a Bachelorette watcher, but in book form it sounded interesting, and I thought following a plus size girl who wanted more representation on the show would be an interesting thing to read about. However, going into this book, I thought that it would be positive for plus size people, and that she would have like, oh yeah, I'm plus size, but I'm pretty, and I'm, happy about it. She was not. She complained a lot in this book about her size or about her weight. And she made fun of The Bachelorette and The Bachelor, which I could go either way on because I'm not a fan of that show anyway. But it was not a body positive book like I was hoping for. And most of it was pretty boring again. So you'll notice that the worst of books are just all boring in my eyes. Okay, number 6 is one of the historical fictions I read this year. So I only read 2 historical fictions. One I really enjoyed. One is on this list. All the Light We Cannot See by Anthony Doerr. It's a World War II historical fiction. And I don't like historical fiction. I especially hate reading about war. So I should have known not to pick it up, but I didn't. Listen. Number 5 on the worst of list is The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy by Douglas Adams. It's a classic about aliens. I do like aliens if they're done right. But this story made absolutely no sense to me. And it seemed very pointless.
Oh my god.
Are you saying oh my god to me?
Yes.
Why?
You didn't like Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
You like it?
Yes.
Oh my... What is the point of that story?
It's a good story. There's really not a good point. It's just something good to watch. Yeah, I haven't read the book though, so I don't know.
You haven't even read the book?
No, I watched the movie. The movie's really good.
Okay, well, the book is pointless, so I'm sure the movie's pointless too. Anyways, getting back to my list. Number 4. Oh, he's probably gonna say, oh my god again, because it's a movie that he's seen that I know we both like. I love the movie, but I hated the book. So, number 4 is I Am Legend by Richard Matheson.
Oh, see, that one I have no opinion about. I've never read the book, so I don't know. But if the first movie is based on the book, then the book sucks because the first movie sucked. The remake with Will Smith is the best one.
Okay, I like the remake, but the book does not follow that same storyline. And it sucks. Number 3 was one that I was really excited for. But again, it's sci-fi, so I should have known that I wouldn't like it because sci-fi equals no-fi for Alita. Haha, you get it? I made it funny. Okay, anyways, number 3 is The Passengers by John Mars. In this story, you follow 8 or 9 different people who get locked in these self-moving cars of the future. And then someone hacks into it and says, oh, they're all gonna die if you don't do this. So you get to play jury and pick who lives and who dies. And it's like a reality show, and it's so stupid. Okay, then number 2, I read because I was reading, like, Kayla from Books and Lala. I was reading some of her favorites, and I hated this book. So it just goes to prove that me and Kayla don't have the exact same taste, but I do like most of the thrillers that she recommends. So I read The Raven Boys by Maggie Stiefvater. I don't even know what the heck happened in that book. There's like psychic witches and weird boys. I don't even know. I can't tell you what happened. I can just tell you I was confused through the entire book. And then the number 1 worst book of the year. This is kind of funny because I noticed that this author is on the best of this year and on the DNFs of this year, and now he's on the worst of this year. So the worst book I read this year was Gerald's Game by Stephen King. This was just a disturbing mess of a book. So it's about this guy, it's about this married couple who want to spice things up in their relationship. So he wants to play more games in the bedroom. So he handcuffs her to the bedpost. And then he drops dead. And she's handcuffed to the bed, naked. And then it's this survival story of her being so hungry and thirsty, but she can't go anywhere because she's handcuffed. And then this dog comes in her house, which I'm not even sure how the dog gets in, because if they're having naughty time, wouldn't their door be closed? Or like, I don't know. But this dog comes in and eats her husband's dead body in front of her. And then she, like, It was just so disturbing. Don't bother with this book. Ever. Stephen King could have never published that book, but, you know, it's a thing now, and it was just disturbing in all the wrong ways, so those are my worst books of the year. Let me know in the comments below if you disagree or if you agree with me, or just tell me your worst books of the year of 2020. Thank you guys for hanging out with me. Give this video a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel.